Selling ethically. People always talk about it, selling ethically, doing the right thing. What is that? And so I'm going to show you how selling ethically can actually get you guys to close more deals and present at a further and higher level. I'll show you how to do this here in this process. So to sell, to get the definition of sell right off the bat, because we all sell something, it's important to know what that is. It's to give up property to another for something in return, such as money. That is the act of what we're doing, is selling. Okay? B is to give up in return something else, especially foolishly or dishonorably. This last definition is something that's came to more life this last couple years in solar. Who's here seen the repercussions of people doing option B? We're all paying for it. The good ones are paying the consequences for the handful of bad ones. And what's happening is people are selling dishonestly, but they don't know why, and they don't know how they're doing it, and they haven't been properly trained. So your job in here as a leader is to learn how to sell ethically, and I'm going to show you a couple ways of doing that now, okay? Because we do not want this reputation. Lawyers, realtors, those guys have gotten terrible reputations over the years, and solar is heading that path if we all don't start cleaning it up and teaching it the right way. So my question, or not my question, but my urge to you guys is with the stuff that you learned today, go teach your teams and pass this generational technology on to the next generation, because you can do it the right way and you can make a lot of money and have fun. And so that's what we're going to be discussing. Okay, what separates the good sales reps from the greats? Someone throw something out. What separates the good ones from the greats? Values? Reparation? Conviction?
Great salespeople sell ideas. Mediocre salespeople sell products and services.
Mediocre people sell products and service. Great people sell ideas. Trust? Absolutely. Intention. Intention, time you're selling, is one of the biggest things that separates some of the goods from the greats, is the intention behind the activities you're doing. And the definition of his intention is the end result or object intended or purpose. Thank you, Mikey. So, the end result or object intended or purpose. So when you're going into this job, what is your intention? And there's a couple ways you can look at it. Some of you, it's here for money. Some of you here is for recognition. But there's a couple layers to this game that I want to introduce you guys to and start playing at those levels, and you'll see how much your world changes when you start doing it. So, intention is a carrier wave for your spoken words. The intention of what you're doing going into your closing and sales process. Carrier wave example. This is what I'm referring to. You guys say the same thing as somebody else, but they get more results, and you don't. Someone here is selling 600 accounts, and you're doing freaking 20. He made $5 million in the worst year in solar history, and we're all freaking struggling here. What the hell happened? Not all of us are, but I'm just giving an example, right? Why? Is because of this exact example right here. The carrier wave of what comes out of his mouth and lands on the customer. And this is what separates the really good from great people, is the intentions when they go into that close. What are they thinking about? What do they have as the end result that they're desiring to get in their entire process? So we're going to go through a couple of them. There are 4 levels to motivation and intention. And this is some of the most gangster shit you guys can train your people on. Okay? If you have new people coming in, you teach them on these 4 levels of motivation and intention and watch what happens. This is a great workshop. So what I'm doing for you guys, go run this with your teams. You have 3 or 4 guys, take these slides and do the exact same thing and have them start writing things out. Okay? So watch what I do and then do what I do. Okay? These start at the lowest forms of motivation and go up to the highest and most effective. Okay? They start low and they go high. So that's how I'm going to start. Money is the lowest form of motivation. You need 20 bucks for a sandwich. I give you 20 bucks, the motivation is gone to go get that sandwich because now you have it. How many reps have come in here to this industry with the promise of making all of this money in the world, and then a year like last year happens and they don't hit it? Do you think they're going to continue to have the motivation to come and do this job? No. If you're wondering why your reps are quitting, it's because you're convincing them on one of these levels of motivation. This is where we got fat and happy. This is where solar started to get a bad name, is we recruited on money. Money, money, money. Come here, big check Fridays. Check all this out, boom. So I made $20,000 on grandma. I made $40,000 on this one deal. That is where the problems all started to happen, is people starting projecting how much money we make per deal. And when you put that money out there, and that's why you're doing it, people will leave you for the very reason they join you. Write that down. People will leave you for the exact reason why they joined you. And if the only reason they're joining you is for money, when shit gets tough, Sonova doesn't fund you, your job cancels, they're out. And you got to rebuild your team. So as you guys are listening and thinking, how many times have you done that and told somebody, hey, you can make $1 million this year. Hey, you can make a couple $100,000 in 4 months. Hey, you can go make $100 grand a month. Is it possible? Yes, but that's the cheat code. Back in the day, I was selling security systems in 2008 for $250 a deal, and they were harder than solar. I was not there for the money, and I'll show you here's the slide. Who can think of something besides money that is the next level up? After money, what's next? What?
Recognition.
Recognition? Pride? What else? Making an impact? Helping people? Yeah, what about you guys over here, legacy guys? Freedom. Okay. Loyalty. So, money. Once they hit it, they need $1 million. You give them $1 million, they buy their house, you can't get them back to work. Whoever here's got a recruit, they made $20,000, and after they got paid, you didn't see them for another month or two. Right? If that's happened, you're recruiting on money, and that's why you can't scale your organization. Okay? Next, so money. A rep wants money to buy a new car, a rep wants to buy a new watch, a rep wants to get a bunch of debt and can't make his payments on his cards. They want to go out and make money, right? And then that's how you hooked them. Okay? The second above money is personal gain. Personal gain is a gain that is for the individual rather than the greater good. Okay? What that is, for example, you poach another sales rep's deal. You go to a permit office, you find someone else's deal, they permit poach you, and you steal it and you offer them a lower deal. That is an example of personal gain. It's good for the person, but nobody else. Okay? Another example of it is winning a competition. They win, but it doesn't help anybody else. Right? Personal recognition. Another one is you have a homeless person living in front of your house. You're not motivated by money to get rid of them. You're motivated just to not have somebody living in front of your home. So removing him is an act of personal gain, like getting off your lines. Another one is you undersize a system so you can get the deal and you do not tell the customer. Your managers are pushing you to sell. You're stressed out. You want to prove your managers you can do it. You're pushing your guys to sell and they're sitting there at a grandma's table or some guy's table. He doesn't like the price and you take 6 panels off, you drop the price. Now he's at 180% or he's at 80% and you're like, yeah, all right, cool, I worked some things around for you. I got your price lowered. That is an example of personal gain. It's happening a lot. And that's why when you start thinking and you bring awareness to it, you can start cleaning it up. So that's why these trainings are so important, is you want to teach them the right way. Now, let's start talking about the next level, playing at a higher level than that. After personal gain, you get a trophy, you get the homeless guy off of your street, you're the top rep in your office. What's above that? What's the next level up of motivation? Time. Okay. What else? Freedom. Challenge. What else? Throw some stuff out. Service for the customer. Managers. Overrides, making money. Okay. Yeah. So after your personal gain, you basically, this is another one example here. After a personal gain is personal conviction. Is a fixed or firm belief. An example of that, in my personal opinion, is I know when I go into that process, at the close, in my mind, I know that they will be better off with solar than continuing to rent with their utility company. That's one of my firm beliefs. And although they might hate me during this process, 25 years from now, they will thank me because I know what's good for them. And I know that I sell a good quality product, and that comes through my pores, my energy when I'm sitting there. I know it's going to be good for them if it's sold the right way. I know, and I have a duty, and I have a belief and a personal conviction that I'm going to be doing it. Okay? An example of that is a sales rep believes strongly that the customer will be better off in 25 years than renting their power from the utility company. Do you guys all truly believe that? And if you don't, the reason why you don't believe it is somebody who sold somebody unethically, and then they had a bad experience and pushed that bad experience on you, and that questioned your integrity on what you're doing. A lot of reps come into solar, they hear all the bad shit that's happened. I don't want to be a part of that, and they leave. So that's why you start talking about this deeper level of conviction in what you're doing. We are here to change the planet. Guys, you do understand the people at this conference are leading sales across the United States for solar. You guys do understand that. Like all the companies here today, the country of America, the United States, is integrating solar faster by the conjoined efforts of everybody in this group. I feel like we're at about 80% of the country's solar is being sold in our community. And that's something to be freaking proud of. So give yourselves a round of applause for that. Between the big players, Freedom, Legacy, all these guys, the smaller regional installers, we are literally the forefront of the country's new energy system. Doesn't matter what Washington says, the tax credit doesn't give a shit because what we're selling here is better for them because nothing can beat generating their own power on site. And if we build the value the proper way, people will buy it. We just have to have more skill set. We can't be selling off money. We can't be selling off savings. People's lives will be changed because of it, right? Another example is a sales rep has the conviction that the customer doesn't know the benefits of going solar, so he takes time to fully enlighten them. Someone doesn't understand, they're fighting with you, just they don't get it. So love them and be like, dude, I totally get it. If you did understand, you'd have done it. So that's what I like. You're talking to me? Cool. I'm going to walk you through this and show you why so many people get it. Because 95% of people love solar. Most people do. It's those that little small percentage of shit talkers that ruin it for the rest of us and mess up our heads because we think we're doing something wrong. Okay? Next, who knows what the highest form of motivation is?
I do. Duty.
All right, well, I fucking pressed the button on that. Sorry about it. So, it's your duty. The highest form of motivation. And how I view this is something that one is excited or is expected or required to do by moral or legal obligation. I look at job as it's my obligation to increase the percentage of solar panels that go in across this country. It's my job to help America be less dependent on a grid they can't fix. It's my job to save somebody with battery backup. Because if I don't, and another freeze happens in Texas, people are going to die. I look at my job as an evangelical duty from God to save these people. And if you operate from that, you don't need to fucking lie to them. You don't need to trick them. You don't need to say these things because what we do works. And they are going to be punished to a point where their bills are going to keep going up. They can't afford college for their kids. They can't take care of themselves when the electricity goes out and it gets fried. If an electrode goes off and knocks down the grid, they're going to be screwed. We are literally making America safe. We provide an alternative solution to a monopoly that they cannot depend on or predict its viability. So with us, that's how I look at this. I get to give people the power of ownership. They are in control. The reason why they bought their house is the same reason why they're going to buy solar. So when you go into that home, you can look at them and know that you are going to change their lives forever. Because they might not know it now. But in 10, 15 years, when electricity bills continue to go up, that excess cash is going to either have them a better life for their children, have their kids' colleges paid for, have them a little bit of peace of mind knowing at the end of the day that they have more money at the end of the month than they do bills. Because if we don't save these people and help them generate their own power, they're going to have more bills at the end of the month than they do money. And that is when I go into those houses and I look at them in the face, they can feel my authenticity. That's the name of business, authentic. Because if you're going to be real, people want that shit. Because now, who's sick and tired of all the fake crap on the internet, fake gurus, all sorts of bullshit? We're sick of it. People can smell that from a mile away. What this industry needs is people who are authentic, who are there genuinely to serve. So when you go into your next close, think about what you're doing, not only for them, but for the planet, the community. We are getting so much carbon emissions off the plate because of what we're selling. We forget that we're literally selling an amazing product that's making our planet better. When did it become about money? When did it become about get that cash and fuck that ass? That's what ruined it. That was a weird analogy, but but that sucks. Yeah, you crack me up. So that's the thing, guys, is when you start playing at this higher level, it's that frequency. People can feel it. You guys all started finding in that motions. Because guys, we're not here doing Jordan Belfort shit, selling stocks and ripping people off. We're actually giving them a product that'll change their lives. And they can feel that when you're genuine. And when they're on the edge and they feel that you're authentic, that's why you guys get deals. That's why Ricardo, that's why these hitters get deals, because they can tell you're not a fucking robot. And you're not thinking about how much money you're going to make. You're not crunching the PPW to see how much commission you're making. You're not getting out of the house telling your friends, hey, I made 15K on that. You're thinking about how that customer is going to be better off because you got them to realize the benefit of owning rather than renting.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get us fired up.
Yeah, and I'm passionate about that. And if we all sell and lead with that way, there's no need for deception. If you don't know how to communicate, you deceive. But that's why you're here, you're training. And your job is to go and train your people on this. Because some of them are afraid to spend money, some of them are afraid to travel, but your job as leaders in the forefront of our industry is to make this place better than we found it. The last thing I want to do is go knock a neighborhood where the last solar guy was fucking over a bunch of customers. He got paid and now he's going doing life insurance. Don't be that guy. The money's still here. The money's in the game. The issues that we're running into is everyone is going after the money. But the game has the money. The game has the money. You play the game and you win it the right way, the rewards are there. But the guys that came for the bag, they got it and they left this place a mess that we're all having to clean up. But the good thing is the people in here, people that like how I train and how I do things, I attract people who sell things ethically. The people who don't fuck with me, they're the ones that don't want to confront that what they're having to do is the wrong thing. And so for you guys being here, these 4 levels are going to be the key to lead this better than we found it. Because we're going to be done on this planet here in a matter of 50, 70 years, whenever your time is done. But when you look back on your time here on this planet, what did you do to leave it better than you found it? And that is why the solar industry is going to continue to be one of the best ones in the world. We're not selling vacuums. We're not selling fucking cars. We're not selling home security systems. We are literally making this planet better. So we don't need to do the bullshit. We can do it the right way because the people that we serve are the mom and dad who are broke. Get fired up. It's the people that have $100 in their account and they trust you to go solar and you fuck them over. Sorry. It just sucks, man, because I've seen it. We have 50% of this country is paycheck to paycheck. And what we can do is provide an alternative to that. And that's why I get so passionate about what we do. Because if you do it the right way, we are literally going to save the middle class on a little bit of peace of mind every month. Okay? It's not a lot, 20, 30, 50 bucks. But over the long period, this is something that can make such a huge impact on these families that we serve. So, my duty here is to teach you, when you operate from that level, you can perform. So some of you guys know my resume, some of you guys know it, but I've been operating at this for years, and I have made a fuck ton of money. But I never talk about it, I never post how much it does. It's because that's not the reason why I'm here. Okay? I played the game, and I played it right, and I got compensated, and I didn't tell anybody about it. Right? And I took my money, and I poured it into this. You guys do know these conferences, we don't make any money on them, right? Like these things, these are not money makers. These are operating level of duty, because we have a duty to share the message. I got gifted such information from all of the top performers. The owner of Legacy was my manager. He got me this watch. I was Legacy's top rep in the first 2 or 3 years of business they were. Okay? Solar City, the guy who started it, was my old manager. All of my friends have created these industries and created these really big companies. And I have a duty to share what I learned from them and pass it on to everybody in this space. And so the thing is, it's such a small window of what you can capture in such a short amount of time. I wanted to be able to scale this out, because whose first conference is this? Who's never been to a conference before? Okay, so here's what happens. You guys come to one of these events, you get fired up, you learn a couple tricks, and you get a pop in production. You get 3 or 4 extra deals, and then you're back to your normal patterns. And that's always been the issues, because I've gone to conferences for years, and I wanted to try to figure out a play to take what we've learned here and space it out and continue to grow. Because you go do Hell Week, you blitz it, you end up looking like him. If you stop working out, are you going to look that good anymore? No. So you got to continue. And you got to continue to push it and get a taste of this. Because hopefully, if you guys have felt, the leaders that were up here, they all talked about a common theme as proximity, as being around the right people. And there's your company, and then there's your community. And what we've done is we've built a community that I want to talk about next, which is how to be a top performer. You've got your company, which is great, but being a top performer requires a little bit more. And that's what I want to talk to you guys about, and doing it the right way. I've created a program that accomplishes this ethically and can push you to produce more accounts than you thought were possible. I have a couple of my students in here now that we're going to talk about, but I wanted to come to you guys and give you something rather than just a quick little pop, because solar deals are what, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a deal, right? You'll make that on this next week, but the key is how can you continue to scale it, as you need more of this IV drip in your veins, and that's what I want to talk to you guys about. Take notes. If you're a trainer, this is how you scale your org. It's the 3C formula. And this is what I'm putting together, is competition, community, and content. If you're wondering why your group is not performing or you're seeing numbers going up, it's because you don't have one of these 3 things in your organization. And so if you're a rep and you want to feel what that's like, or you're a manager and you want to see what that's like, this last year we had over 50 participants in a once-in-a-lifetime experience called Lord of the Doors. Have you guys all raised your hand? Have you seen the little signs around? And you're wondering like what the hell it is, right? So 4 or 5 years ago, me and an old business partner, we started a boot camp where we trained some very key principles over a certain amount of period, and we made everybody compete against each other in a 6-week program and push themselves to the limits. We delivered content, we had them in a group chat, and we rode every single person to go further and further and further in scale. And after our big competition, we had 50 people in it, and we had over 1,100 sales in 6 weeks from our students. That's crazy. 50 people produced 1,100 accounts. And how we did it is with this formula, and we pushed them to go to the next level. We have last year's winners with us here, Jordan O'Farrell, who's a good friend of mine. He runs his own dealer in Arizona. And he came to me, and he's like, hey, I'm already really good. I just need to push myself. I want some new techniques, and I want to ride it, and I want to see what I can accomplish. So Jordan here won season 1, and then I have a season 2 winner here too, but I wanted to turn the time over to Jordan real quick with the mic and just say a couple things about your experience that you were performing in Lord of the Doors. Yeah! You did 28, Abby. You did 28.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Great work. So
I guess that's a good number.
That's a great, yeah, you freaking right, you old knucklehead. So this year, we're back bigger than better. This year, the solar industry needs this. We've had our ass kicked last year, and for the guys that are committed to playing at a higher level, that operate on 3 and 4, this is for you, okay? We have dropped it to be an 8-week program, and I have brought in a couple speakers and trainers from a couple different industries to come in. We've got Melissa Ramiza, Troy Casey, Ricardo Ricky, and Zach Hall. Ricardo Ricky from earlier today, there's a second part to his training that he does that you can only get in 30 minutes. from this training here. He's going to continue that on in the Lord of the Doors, so you do not want to miss that. Melissa Ramiza was the first champion. You heard it. She bought our program 3 years ago. Now she's a vice president of a company. Spent $20K and never looked back, and has made $1 million every year since. And so the guy that we're going to be teaching and talking about our body and health, because solar right now has a bad rep of just slamming energy drinks and Adderall. So I want to, it's a thing a lot of guys do. And there's a healthier way of doing it. So if you guys follow Troy Casey on Instagram, he's he's literally called the Certified Health Nut, and he's going to go through some breath works and ways for us to be able to focus and maintain our health long term. He's awesome. Melissa Ramiza, top performer, sold over a couple hundred accounts every single year for 3 or 4 years. She's going to go through her process with us. Ricardo, of course. Who was here for the Ricardo training? Raise your hand. Yeah, so you guys got a taste of it, dude. 600 accounts. He's going to break it down part 2. And then Zach Hall, he's a mindset coach. He's the trainer for Sunder. And Sunder is one of the largest solar companies in the country, and he's their mindset trainer. So we're going to be focusing on getting your body in shape, your salesmanship, and getting your finances handled in an 8-week program. And you're going to be around people that operate at a higher level. And so you're probably wondering, if you're going to be participating in this, there's no playing in the gray. After you join one of these programs, if you were ever thinking about doing that again, leave it in the past, because going forward, we're going to be showing you a better way to operate and perform at a higher level. Okay? If we use these techniques, you'll have an increased skill set that you won't have to do that type of stuff. So, we take reps to make them the top reps in their companies. And that's what the Lord of the Doors is designed to. Melissa Ramiza, she's now, you guys all know Melissa. If you don't know her, follow her. She's fantastic. She's one of my favorite students. She's going to be one of the coaches in this program. So if you do need additional support, you will be able to reach out to Melissa. And she's done such a great job of crushing it. She was doing, I think, like 30 or 40 deals a year. And then after she joined my competition, she went out and did 140 that year. Absolutely crushed it. So here's how this looks. We put you in a competition, 50 people. You're going to compete against everybody in the industry, the real top professionals. It's an 8-week of live trainings every Tuesday, 9 a.m. Pacific. We're going to get up, we're going to on a Zoom call. We're going to give you some content. Okay? Everyone wakes up, they're on the training. You've got your video on. Okay? If you're doing this, your video has to be on. Okay? I regurgitate that over and over again. Make sure your video's on. 8 weeks every Tuesday. It's July and August. Then what we're going to be doing for you is during the time after August, we're going to give you access to the training platform. Okay, Ricardo Ricky's closing process is all in there. You need to have that memorized by the end of August. You're going to memorize his steps. He's got a 10-hour process broken down into extreme detail. You guys have a couple months to memorize that. You're going to get access to his material and the rest of all of Authentic up until September. So get on there and study and train and take notes. Next is you're going to be part of a community chat, a Discord, where you guys can get additional questions or support needed if you guys have any problems. Hey, I just got this on the doors. What should I do? And then me and multiple coaches will jump in there and help solve your problem. And if we have time, even jump on a call and coach you up. And so that's the cool part of having this, is a group outside of your own helping you push. You're going to be able to submit your deals. And so when you get a contract signed, you get the confirmation email, you take a screenshot of the confirmation, put it into the deal, and then you're on a scoreboard. So then you get to see everyone competing, who's at the top and bottom of it. It's freaking sick, right? And you get in the ranking system. So if you notice there, that's how it all looks. First place is going to win a custom Lord of the Rings ring. Jordan has it here today. It's one of my favorite pieces of jewelry. Jordan, you mind, let me show that thing off real quick. So, right here is a huge golden ring, and it's one ring to rule them all. This is a trophy that you can wear for the rest of your life to remind you what experience you went through during the Lord of the Doors. And it's, you know, that it's like the door. Remember when he goes to the door in Moria and the light comes on the moon? That's from here, it's sick. So I'll post it on my Instagram so you can see it. And so you're going to win a custom ring. And it's a special one because these trophies you carry with you forever. When I was Legacy's top rep in 2013, Doug bought me a $10,000 Breitling watch. and I still wear it today. Because these watches are cool if you win them. No one cares how much you spend on a watch. Win that shit. Because they're such powerful trophies. And I want you to have a piece of jewelry that you can carry on with you for the rest of your life. Second place, you and your spouse are going to go on a cruise. Third place, we're going to get you some custom Lord of the Rings Lord of the Doors shoes. And we're going to send them to your house. They're going to be sick. Okay? You're going to be a part of the community. Anybody that's been in Lord of the Doors has now become my friends. Me and Abby went to Africa last year and we built a school for an underprivileged community. Part of Solar Gives Back. So you'll be in the circle of people that I love, and I love God whatever you do. Next is content. There's over 100 hours of ethical sailor training in Authentic University that you guys can continue to chew up over the next couple months. Then, last year it was 2K, but Solar was rough last year. And remember, I'm operating from a place of duty, and I wanted to see a program where everybody could kick ass this year and make a difference. And do it where they can afford it. So, I've done a Pessy special for everybody. For 2K last year, that's going to get you the Lord of the Doors, 8 training calls, prizes, the community, all that. The competition's usually 2K. The community chat's $500. $1,000, you get a live event in October in Los Angeles, so you'll get to fly out to LA. You guys cover travel, and we're going to be going into recruiting in October, because October is recruiting season. So if you're a sales rep, crush it, and then October we're going to meet up in LA, we're going to teach you how to recruit. Okay? All part of the program. You get access to the university up until September with a new AI role play that we just built out. It's freaking sick. So total, this is all of what you would be spending, couple $1,000. But while we're here at SolarCon, we've done it for $599. Dirt cheap. $500 is going to get you all of that. And the goal is for you to go out and make enough money and crush it during those couple weeks and use that content and train your people. Because nobody wants to be the sales rep that's at the top of the leaderboard for their whole life. Your goal is to go win some trophies, teach the next generation. Do like Melissa did. She came in as a rep, became a manager, regional, now she's a VP. We want to teach you guys the same exact process. But you got to pay to play, and we've made it so cheap that if you don't even pay attention to it, that's on you. But we want to make it affordable so everybody this year can get into it. So, with that being said, $599 while you're here. I've got my guys at the back of the podium with pamphlets ready to be filled out. We're only taking 50 people because we want to make sure we can deliver high quality value and service during that time. And so for the guys who are ready and they're ready to commit, most of you spent more on a plane ticket to get here than you are going to be on this competition. So for the ones that are ready to commit and that are ready to change their lives, because you'll get some good stuff here for the next 2 days, but after that, where are you going to get additional services? I've made it dirt cheap. It's less than $100 a month for the next couple months. So if you guys are ready, go meet my team in the back. They're going to give you guys some basic information, get you guys registered, and get you going. But before that, I wanted to throw one last thing at you. It's $599 retail, but my buddy was like, dude, just knock it down a little bit more. I'm like, all right, Zart, the slicks aren't working? The slides aren't working. So we've done it, instead of $599, we're gonna do it for just $500. Fuck it. $500, we'll get it done. And so if you guys are ready, I'm gonna take a couple Q&As for the guys that feel they want some more information on the program and they're ready to get involved and play at a high level. Go to the back. For the time being, I'm gonna take a couple Q&As while we're working on these slides, but I really wanna make sure that you guys go out this year and crush it. And for the ones that need a little extra assurance, meet there at the back and talk to our boys, and we'll get you guys rolling with the Lord of the Doors. So with that being said, I've got an extra mic here, and I've got Ben who can take a couple mic questions from the audience. Any sales questions or anything like that about your sales process, how that looks? I want to open it up because we're about to go over the Sharks. The Sharks are out. You got time to go eat, relax a little bit, and then go watch them. But I want to open it up for a little bit because I know, we dove into some deep stuff today. So for you guys, anybody have a couple general questions? I want to leave that open just before we wrap it up. And do you know what time we are on tomorrow? 9 a.m. main stage. Leadership and recruiting. So if you guys, I've got a special guest coming. So you guys all heard of Vivint, right? So Vivint was like the biggest door-to-door company of all time. It's where like Legacy and Sunder and all these guys came from, right? And the top recruiter in Vivint history has had a non-compete for 5 years. His name's Jared Young. Jared Young recruited pretty much every single person to Vivint, and he's never spoken to an audience outside of Vivint in his whole life. And his non-compete just finished like 2 months ago, and I begged him to come. So tomorrow, he's gonna be one of the keys to training on how he did it. So if you guys want to see door-to-door legend history, never been before, he's in a cave, or he's in a mansion chilling now, but you definitely want to catch this. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
I run a sales team in California. This is small one. I personally struggle a little bit with some of the ethicalness. So like we are very ethical.
Yeah.
We're rated really high. But one gentleman in the hot seat, he was saying, I think somebody said, I just moved in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, there's this brand new program just for you, first 3 months. And for me, I struggle with that because it's like, we'll name the program for a new homeowner in the first 3 months.
Yeah.
Would you consider that ethical, or would you consider that misleading? And side note, another example would be like door knockers. Did you see that notice that just came in the mail?
Yeah.
It's like, these things are hard for me to find to be truthful, so it's hard for me to say.
Yeah.
But when I hear other sales reps do it at the door, I feel like it's not honest.
Yeah.
So where do you find the fine balance?
It's a great, the note, you don't need to play, like the thing on the notice, it's a hook. It's a dishonest hook. You don't need to do a dishonest hook. So my hook is hey, did you see the article that came out? And I'll hand them the article. That's a better way of doing it because the article was printed and then you're creating curiosity. So what they're trying to do, the approach is a hook. And so that hook, if you're doing it super sketch, that's where it comes off that way and it's going to be hard to get your reps to do it. A lot of reps will hear sales trainers train, they hear some shit they don't align with and they quit and they don't say anything because they don't feel right about it. So you are right with that. So what it is, if you see it, understand, that's not how you have to do it. And I personally say, I'm like, that's kind of gimmicky, but you don't need to do it if you do it the right way. So the hook with an article so pull up Times Magazine. So a perfect example, you could do an NEM 3.0 one, or Times put out an article about the electricity rates going up. So it's the proper way of doing it. And then the program, it's I don't know if it's like necessarily lying, but if they have a way of expressing it that it's like, hey, if they heard a loan before, the new program is a PPA. Just depends if the customer's heard it or not. So that's the thing is technically it is a new program if they haven't heard it, but is it new to the solar industry? No, it's a new to you hearing about it program. So it depends on how you spin it. But my biggest thing is as long as you can capture the attention and you're professional and you make eye contact, they can tell that you're genuine and they'll go further with you. The ones that are playing in the gray like that, they know what they're doing and they don't seem trustworthy, but they can push to the end. They'll get the deal signed, but the customer will cancel. So that's why if you like hold your chest up tight, like, yeah, this is what it is. It's no problem. Yeah, it's a new program that basically isn't the typical loan that you've heard about. It's a PPA, okay? It's called Infin. Infin just got out to this market. It is technically a new program, okay? The Koreans are wanting to get into the market. It's a home run for a lot of people. So that's what they're doing. So yeah, that's how I do it. And it's as long as your intention in your set is to do things the right way and you know you're going to sell them the right way, that's the most important part. So great question. Yeah, cool. Got time for one more. No, we did it. Oh, Tim, how are you doing, young Tim?
I'm doing really good.
We got our mic runner. Oh wait, here we got one here too. Okay.
Yeah, so I have a question here. I'm sending out proposals constantly, either on the phone. Oh yeah. So my struggle here is I send out proposals, whether it's Zoom, phone, or in person, and it stops there most of the time.
Okay.
And I just need help trying to, come back in and re-engage and just trying to close a deal. But there's no response, like on my calls, the next email, it completely stops.
Okay. Are you trying to do everything virtually?
In person or on the phone?
Yeah. The rules.
It's mostly in person.
Yeah, great, good question. So guys, rule of thumb, if you're trying to do things virtually over the phone, you're not getting traction, get to in-person appointments until you get your process dialed in enough where it's like in-person super dialed, and then you can turn it back a little bit more to being over the phone. So now if you have that issue coming up, you want to try to get a little bit more value built. One of the biggest things is if you are sending proposals, you want to get it all the way to the end and get them really tied in, and then get them into a commitment at the end of your process to get back with you by a certain time, or get them on the phone and do the process with them. So call them on the phone and say, hey, look, I got to get all of your information, and just walk them through the entire thing, and don't hang up until they do it. So, hey, I need to spend 10, 15 minutes with you. I got to go through this process and get all this, we got to dot the T's and cross the I's. And so do a phone, they can't get out of it. So tie them to that. Because that sounds like where you're just like, all right, cool, we'll send you this, and then sign it whenever you're ready to go forward. Is that kind of what it is? No?
Not really.
Okay. Yeah, so.
I think, so damn, man. You got a soft voice, dude. I think what he's trying to say is like, because it's a mix, right?
Yeah.
Especially after COVID, a lot of people just want to do it online. So he'll do it, he'll do the presentation, we'll send him the email, but then it's no phones. No. I mean, earlier we started trying to do like a video or something else, something different to send, but maybe the question more straightforward could be like, what's the top 2 things that you do to follow up for that person that just will not take your calls or emails after you have done the presentation, you sent them the proposal, and they just ghost you.
Got it. So remember in Ricardo's presentation, he tied them down to making a decision right off the bat. So if you're running into that, get them to commit to making a yes or no decision by the time you're into your process. Or if they're like, I'm not doing anything today, continue to push through it. And then at the end, just say, look, we need to have a time because the deadlines change. Like perfect example, who's had a deal that's got installed and then it couldn't get to PTO and the lease agreement changed and all the numbers. So you can use that form of urgency where you've got to get it done because the numbers are going to change. So I would say is think back in your mind 3 to 5 points of pain and urgency that you bring up. Every one of you guys should have your list of stuff you bring up for solar. Like mine's like ownership is more powerful. The main reason, what was it? I go number 2. What was the main reason why you bought your house? Okay, cool. So you bought your house. Okay, because you want to take ownership of it. All right, now you buy your power because you want to take ownership of your power. So have those listed out. And if you're not getting those numbers or hits back to you, you probably didn't cover all of those, and then have a really hard tie down at the end to make sure they get it completed. So do you have all of those written out, the 5 points that you bring up? Or do you just like wing your process and just talk about stuff? Okay, that's where it is. So next thing you want to do is go through, when you're going through, right before you drop the price, you want to talk about 5 main things why solar is a benefit and get them to agree with it. That's always like my rule of thumb. I want to make sure that they know 5 main things why they like solar, and then they want to go forward with it. That's when I know when to drop price. But if there's not 5, you're going to get that process where they don't respond back to you. So write those out. Yeah, and then go through the platform literally step by step. If you have copies of the slides, like his slides literally break it down. I fucking copy the same shit as him. That's what I do now. So it's like he figured it out. He cracked the code. So that's definitely go back and look at those slides.
I think that's it.
All right.
All right. So if you have other questions, Dan will still be around.
Yeah.
We're going to be back here tomorrow in the main stage at 9 a.m. But again, sign up for Door to the Doors competition in the back. It's only $500. And I mean, you can make that money back so many ways. The motivation that you're going to get from being a part of this is going to help you reach more of your potential. So definitely check this out in the back. Only $500. Go ahead and sign up. And yeah, have a great competition.
That's it. And if you're a leader or a manager of a team, come talk to me. We got team
Let's give it up for
programs.
Danny one more time. Thank you, Danny.